Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. That drum beat gets me every time. We've been doing this for a long time, and I'm always like, in the
and we're in live. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Steve.
I do love that intro. I'm feeling good. It's been a good start to the week. You know, we had a holiday weekend, Labor Day. Did you go anywhere?
Wait, okay. We have to talk about this. Like Labor Day, first of all, for me, I don't know about you, but for me, I was like, we are chilling. I'm back at home. Let's having a moment. And Tuesday, it has been bananas since Tuesday.
Yes.
It's like everybody's like, we got that third quarter energy. We are just going to fly till the end of the year. It's wild.
I felt like that. And I think, we have training that I do for our company. We scheduled it for Tuesday. And maybe that was just not a great idea. It seemed like every email from every client of all types was coming in on Tuesday.
Oh, everybody woke
fired up. Everyone's like, all right, holidays.
They're like, summer's over, kids. Let's get back to work. And I'm like, all at one time? Maybe not. So I wonder how everybody else has been doing. By the way, good morning. Let us know where you're joining us from. I am back here in, I can actually say, sunny Los Angeles, where the weather's perfect, always.
Yeah. And here, live in Miami, not raining yet, but pouring the last couple of days. We've had some nice floods.
Lou was asking, is Thursday the new Wednesday? No, but we've had some things going on. So we wanted to make sure to join you guys live. So we shifted last week and this week to Thursday. So thank you for being flexible with us. You know,
what do you think? I think I'd rather be live than pre-record. I like doing it live and getting to talk to you, Lou, and all the other viewers.
Sure. Definitely do it live.
And I think today, too, is something fun. We're live on the Skift channel itself, too, on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to that, get on YouTube, find the Skift channel, make sure you subscribe. A lot of great content there, which is fun. So good morning to all the Skifters out there watching.
Yeah, good morning. Let us know where you're joining us from. This is exciting. So did you have a nice Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, I had a nice Labor Day weekend. I got to go to the beach, Miami Beach, right on the heart of South Beach, which was beautiful. The weather held up nice. And then a torrential hurricane came through for 3 minutes. And then, had some fun at a restaurant afterwards. So
wow, that sounds like a very perfect South Florida day.
Yeah, nice South Florida day for Labor Day. But it was nice. A lot of people don't like this time in Miami and South Florida because it's so hot and muggy, but I enjoy it because the locals get the streets back to themselves before everything kicks back off.
Your skin's probably dewy, extra dewy.
Nice. And the wrinkles are down. We're looking good.
Wow. Moist. Great. Good stuff. Well, it's an interesting time of year. So right before Labor Day, kind of kicked off, I actually was doing a bunch of TV appearances last week. So for those that probably know, but I do quarterly segments, and it's always interesting because we're like breaking down what's happening and actually doing segments for travelers, and so kind of planning and looking into fall, and people are excited to plan different trips. A lot more domestic travel is definitely in the works for people trying to take advantage of long weekends. And then for those that are planning ahead, this was a big thing this past week, is the best time to travel internationally for like the lowest airfares, Thanksgiving week. So because everybody wants to be here. It's an American holiday. So if you are down to like kind of shift your schedule a little bit and maybe not necessarily do the traditional turkey in the US, you can take advantage and fly to like Paris or London or Rome for a little bit less. So
I love that. I'd love to get some tips. Is there any places in the US that you see popping off for the fall coming up that people want to go to?
Always this time of year, everybody loves to go up to like the Northeast for leaf peeping. They need to come up with a better phrase for that.
Like
leaf peeping, where the leaves are peeping.
I have some going on my leaves here. Some of them are starting to fall off. So.
That's a different type of leaf. Okay. Right. I'm kidding. But yeah, so really kind of to see some of the changing colors. 2 weeks ago, I was in upstate New York near Hudson, New York, and I could already just slightly see the turning of the leaves. And I was like, oh, this will be incredible. So let us know if you have any travel plans this fall that you're really looking forward to. I know people just like to take in that
Yeah,
I'm not ready to switch
Give us
out.
the city. Give us a city. I want to see where everyone's going. I love when
Oh
you guys
yeah.
share your travel plans for the holidays and the fall. I love to see where everyone's going so we can make our own research here.
I'm not ready to switch out my margarita for pumpkin spice yet.
It's happening. I see it. I have some friends already putting up all their Halloween decor, and it's September, so it's fun to see what's going on. But
Crazy.
yeah, talk about travel. We got a lot of great stories on travel.
Yeah, let's talk about something. Let's go overseas. Let's talk about what's going on in Copenhagen. Like that.
I like this. This is cool. That was a good one.
That's a good transition. All right, so Copenhagen is turning sustainability into a tourist perk, which is kind of cool. I love that. By the way, big fan of Copenhagen. And I love that they're doing this. They've got this tourism, the sustainability push that they're doing. So they've got CopenPay rewards, which is for eco-friendly travelers. So whenever travelers are doing things like biking, using the train, doing longer stays, they'll end up earning different rewards, and they can use them for a lot of attractions. And it's kind of, I love this concept, by the way.
I love it. Just looking at it, I'm a big fan of anything helping your community be better. And it's not just sustainability. Like, if you take a picture with this CopenPay app that they have and you're picking up garbage and happen to put it into the recycling bin, you get points. And the more points you get, you start getting access to the museums and to different stores. And like, they're working with local providers. So like an example they had was a boat provider. He's giving away free boat trips in the morning because it would have been empty anyway. And it helps reward people for doing good things in the city and in the community, which is just a great way to see like how to take care of your city and invite tourism. Because we see so many cities not wanting tourists and kicking them out. Right. We've talked about that. This is the opposite.
Not many, but we have some select fews. We got
some big cities like Barcelona. Jinx. You see? So we've seen them doing that in some other cities, freaking out about it. But I think this is a great way to do it and to reward people. Because like I was just on the beach this past weekend, and a big group, I want to say probably high schoolers, trashed the beach and left their bottles and chips and bags and just left it in the sand and left it there and showed the kids like, hey, let's go pick this up. Let's clean up after them. Let's leave our community nicer and better. So if I had the Miami pay, right, we would have been able to say, hey, look what we did. Let's get free access to one of the museums or something fun because we helped the community. So I love seeing what Copenhagen is doing. Yeah. And they see a lot of people are asking them how to do it in their own communities.
It's great. They're leading the way. And to show you how successful it's been, just this past summer, they had about 100 more businesses join the program. And I love this, that they also noted that bike rentals have increased by 29%, which is great. Good. That's not only is it green, but people are getting active, and we like to encourage that.
And here's Christelle. She's saying, good morning, Steve and Sarah from Palm Beach.
Ooh, good morning.
For sitters at colleges and universities right now. So it's a busy right now for sitters, and a second ink a second ink will be in LA in early November, and maybe a hop up to New York City and Connecticut for a taste of fall. I love it.
Ooh, taste of fall. That'll be.
Well, let me know. I don't know if you do sitting in Miami, but a hotel in Miami asked for a recommendation. So I'd love to recommend you if you do in Miami Beach.
Well, I can attest. Here, I've worked with Christelle for many, many years. Gosh, we've known each other for like 15 years. Don't do the math. I started when I was having a babysitter.
Look at this networking, live networking on the show. You watch live, we help you out.
It's great. Well, why don't we kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about F&B and hotels. This is your department, by the way, sir. Mm-hmm. So, according to this article, guests are significantly less satisfied with F&B at hotels run by third-party management. That is not a surprise. I have a lot to say on this. I'm not super surprised, but this. So there was a recent report done by JD Power, and they found that basically hotels that were managed by third parties, guest satisfaction declined significantly year over year in areas of food and beverage quality and facilities maintenance.
There's a lot going on here. So look, guests are going more, like they're staying at the property. So 77% of guests are dining on property, up from 73% in 2024. So you have more people coming to dine on property. But man, things are getting more and more expensive. And so like I'm working with several consulting clients where they're having issues because their costs have gotten so high. They want to maintain quality,
Yeah,
but
sure.
they can't make money. So what are they doing? They start cutting back on quality in places that they shouldn't. And then they're still serving and raising prices on that burger or that chicken sandwich or whatever it might be. And the quality is not there. So you're paying more for a product that is a less quality. And these management companies it's hard to make money, right? You have certain deals and different styles. So some of these management companies, if you don't know, viewers, they make money on the top of the revenue a little bit and then a lot at the bottom if they hit certain goals. And so you have to really watch your expenses to drive those, profits to the bottom line so that the management company can earn their bonuses and profits and things that they need. And so you have to cut in different places. So that's why you may see toilet paper in the rooms a little bit different at certain seasons, right? Like if it's slow season, I worked in a hotel that was like, all right, at these rates, this is the toilet paper. At this rate, this is the toilet paper and amenities and quality of things that are going to be around the hotel. We're cutting back on entertainment. We're cutting back on all these things when it gets slower. So all those little details really change the entire experience, and you're still paying the same amount for a lesser quality, which makes it hard. And one other thing, I know you have one because it just happened to me.
Yeah.
The guy is buying local from a farmer, right?
Okay.
So it's not coming in from tariffs. It's a local farmer that raised prices, and the delivery price went up. Why? Because the boxes he was buying got tariffs on it, and he had to cover the prices of the boxes he was shipping local goods in.
Oh,
so
good
it's a crazy
times.
thing of how stuff starts to add up and add up and add up.
Yeah, that can be a conversation for a whole other show. But yeah, I mean, of course, these, I mean, we've talked about this the impact of the tariffs and how it ends up being a domino effect. But kind of like, I'm curious about your thoughts on this. So, I also, when you talk about F&B from like a third party, like standalone restaurants, they just the way that they deliver service, everything, it's different than a hotel. And I'd almost call them like the Wild West of like hospitality. Like it's about the food and the vibe and the experience, generally speaking, first and foremost. But like the finesse of like the actual service is, I think, a little bit secondary. And so I feel like that's why sometimes it's hard. Like working and being in a restaurant environment is very different than a hotel environment, and they don't always go together. It is going to be a different experience. Have you found that?
Yes, it's different because there's two different models, right? So in the world-class hotels and some that I have worked in, I'll say this is that I've worked in hotels that are, let's say, some of the 4-star ones. We've had these talks, like we're speaking. We do not want our hotel restaurant to feel like it's a hotel restaurant. We want to have a separate entrance.
Yeah.
The rules in this restaurant don't apply to the hotel. So back in the day where you say, hey, we don't want any tattoos, no beards, everyone clean cut. In that restaurant, it was fine. We want to hire that. We want people to feel authentic when they come in there and have that vibe. And the music is louder and the standards are a little bit different, right? And so you have those things that we would plan and do. And you see them. You can look at my resume and you'll know the hotels that do that.
Yeah.
But then there's others where we're like, you know what? We do need to bring in that third party name, but you can set it up as a license agreement where we're still operating it and you wouldn't know that we were, because we're using those standards of those big brand names to bring in guests, because it's hard to bring in guests if you don't have the big brand name.
It is very true. It's very true. Oh my gosh, wait, you kind of distracted me with something and I have to ask because I'm like giggling inside. Okay, so talking about grooming standards in hotels, I am so glad that so much of this has shifted. The facial hair situation for men, for the longest time, this was the case in all of Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, that if you worked in a hotel as a man, you could only have a mustache. Like you couldn't have a beard, you can have a goatee, only that. Did you have to do that?
Yeah, I'm brainwashed. That's why I clean shave every day. I have no tattoos. I remember I got in trouble because I had my hair too far down the side of my face when I had sideburns at one point, and I had to shave it to go to Mandarin Oriental of all things. Yeah. I
am so glad that we have shifted away from this. So by the way, I'm also brainwashed. That's why you will only see that I only have red nails or like neutral color. And my nail tech lady is like, you want to do a different color? I'm like, no, just honey, this is my brand. Like, don't even try. But I got written up once for having my hair curly.
Yeah,
I
not
have
natural.
naturally curly hair, and I have been like, now
Right.
it's like hair is a thing. So, and I remember the whole thing with tattoos, and then it shifted. And you know what's funny? I remember one of the last hotels I worked at, the way it shifted, and then we'll move on to the next topic. The way it shifted is it was like it was kind of slow, and then all of a sudden, all the bellmen came in. Like one came in after, like they were like rotating like vacations, and every time they came in after a vacation, they all came in with like a full beard.
They grow
And
2 weeks. Yeah.
yeah, and they did it, and then because there was a period of time where they all just like had like stashes, and everybody was like, okay, like you guys all look. It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
That was
Unless
why
you're top selling.
there's a part of a lot of those things. But one thing I want to talk in the restaurant, because you
Yes,
triggered
let's go
another
back to
thing,
that.
because I'm helping with this. And listen, I know a lot of Forbes trainers and standards, and Forbes is a big thing. But when you put Forbes into restaurants and you have to hit certain goals for Forbes, it takes away a lot of the creativity that these restaurants could have.
I bet.
Like I'm working with a client now. Hey, let's add X, Y, and Z. Oh, we can't do that because it's not a Forbes standard. Right. And so now you're trying to hit a Forbes standard, which is very important. If you lose that star, if you're a 5-star, 5-diamond, you could lose a significant amount of revenue, and people strive for that. But what starts happening is it starts taking the creativity away from a lot of the people that are food and beverage operators or come from an outside restaurant and then try to come to a hotel. That's why you asked me that question. Hey, we could do this in our restaurant anytime, because they weren't getting Forbes rated, right? They were doing different things. And so like Michelin is different than Forbes. And so you could do a Michelin standard that would get you 2 or 3 stars, but it's not a Forbes standard, and it messes you up. So it's all these things that are kind of happening in hotels. It's not one perfect answer. It's a mix of all different things that really challenge us.
I will say this, and then we will move on to this next topic. It's like, I very much remember having to, and they've modified this, this standard for a while for Forbes, but like you had to say the guest name 3 times within an interaction. And how does that, it's crazy. That takes you out of it. Like you're supposed to be genuinely interacting. And I'm like, oh, I said, Mr. Smith 2 times. I have to say it one more time organically. So
Hi.
Bye, Mr. Smith. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Very nice meeting you, Mr. Smith. You know, I had a colleague that would do that, and I was like, Dave, can you not? It's so obvious.
Hard. That's why I think there's a lot of mix. Yes, there's costs and tariffs and but the creativity starts to get in there too. That's where.
Totally. All right. Let's talk about Accor. This is cool. Accor launches their global subscription loyalty program. And that's great. We love this. Accor introduces all Accor Plus, a unified global subscription model, which is really kind of consolidating regional loyalty cards into one brand. This is great. Their program includes 4 tiers: Explorer, Voyager, is that Ibis, and Signature, covering over 4,500 hotels, over 30 plus brands. So Explorer is launching October 1st, and it's offering 2 free nights, buy one, get one. So that's kind of interesting. So we know this. I will scream it from the mountaintops. I am a big fan of loyalty programs. My mom is going to be doing a little bit more traveling over the next couple months. And I said, it doesn't matter who you end up staying with. Like if you choose whether you end up staying with, whether it's a different hotel brand or who you end up flying with or renting a car, make sure that whatever you do, you are signed up for their loyalty program and you are getting credit for it. So
yeah, I think great for Accor. I think now that they've started to simplify it, they want to make it where you can personalize things to what you like. And really, they're tapping into this booming subscription economy that's coming everywhere, where people, they want them in this and they want them to be a part of it. And so, look, I think if you don't have something by this point already, if you're a hotel brand, you really need something, because there's still some companies out there that do not have any kind of loyalty or any like they have their subscription loyalty program here. They don't have, and they have 40, 50 hotels, 60 hotels, and they could be driving that. But like you said, a lot of people won't travel unless they're getting points. And so they will make a conscious decision, be like, this place, I don't know, let me go to the other one that I'm going to get my standards and get my rating, get my points, and get everything up there. But it's interesting to see, because now I even see like some of these new companies coming out trying to create these point programs for independent, right? And so they're, hey, you don't have a point program, join our group and we will get you in there, and we'll start getting you some things that you can reward guests.
And you know what's wild? Because I've got a lot of colleagues of mine that are in the points business, that they're points influencers, so to speak. I just had a call yesterday with one, and I mean, and that is not my area of expertise, but it's wild. It's a psychological play because, as we all know, points are decreasing in value. You just like you have to earn more for them to even like get a hotel stay or upgrade on a flight or whatever it is. Yet it's gamified the system. Like it's just like, I don't care. Even if I need to use more points to get a flight, I'm still going to like really double down on using those or getting those points, whether it's transferring from credit cards or this or that. And so it absolutely has a big impact on loyalty. I mean, I think about, what more can how can I spend more money with Delta so I can increase my status? Like, okay. All right, everybody needs to calm down.
Yeah. I think we
By
talked about
everybody,
this
I mean me.
yeah, but it's hard because now there are so many ways to score and
Yeah,
get good
totally.
deals, and especially when you're looking for bargains. So, like I told you, we talked about this a couple of times where I use now ChatGPT to say, "Here's all the points I have on which
Oh,
cards,
yeah.
and here's the points I have in memberships. What's the best deals I can get? Go do some deep research and get back to me." And
Yeah.
so, you know, people are doing it. People are making trips this way. I see Lou saying, I do loyalty points on every trip, but don't get hung up on particular place just for the points. So Lou is doing that. I think a lot of people are like that. So it gets
Yeah.
very interesting out there.
Oh, I get hung up.
I can see me not as much. I care more about on my credit card points right now. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
more,
again,
I
it's
would
like,
be more that way.
how much are you traveling versus how much I'm traveling? I'm like,
You
I
already
would like a reward for every breath I take. Thank you very much.
I'm definitely not traveling as much as you. I've definitely not seen 2 world wonders in one day.
Well, it's okay. Anyway, all right, let's go to this next topic. New rules. Oh my gosh, I feel like Bill Maher.
Oh,
You get that? Anybody got
yes.
that? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
New
Just making
rules. We
sure.
need some music now on this show.
Now we need new rules.
We need some like
Ooh.
segment music.
Oh okay. So new US visa rules are going to be starting on September 2nd. Well, it just happened. Basically, they are going to be requiring nearly all applicants to do in-person interviews. Now, this is for visas. They are going to be ending a lot of waivers for this. So before they would have waivers for like kids, seniors, renewals, where they would actually be able to like mail in their renewal or their applications for visas. And now everybody's got to come in person, or almost everybody. So that is a reminder, by the way. When I hear stuff like this is a real reminder of like, if you were born here, in the United States, there's so many things that we take for granted that we don't realize, like the hoops that people have to jump through. And yeah, so this was it's going to change some things.
Yeah. Well, like we don't talk politics here, but now it's going to be harder to travel for a certain group of people.
Sure.
Right? And it just makes things a little bit more difficult. But if you can follow these rules and do your own person interviews, we still want as many people traveling to the United States as we can and get them into the hotels and restaurants and attractions as we can. So it's going to be interesting to see how really this does affect and how much longer it takes to wait. And if I'm sure there's going to be some added fees that you can rush and get your rush order in and get things going. But, just be aware, like we talked a couple stories ago or a couple weeks ago, where that person was going to go to Puerto Rico, I think it was on a cruise, and didn't have the visa set up correctly. So
Exactly.
Make sure you know the rules.
do your research. I don't feel bad if you don't do your research. No, but I mean, obviously things change. And then also, as we mentioned, costs are going to be increasing. We talked about this a couple of weeks back, where, it's like the cost for different people from different countries, it can be very significant. I think it was for a family from India to come to the US, it was like $500 per person. So if you've got 4 people, next thing you know, it's like $2,000. So, and that was one. So, I mean, there are definitely, different countries, different arrival fees, ESTA fees as well, that are going to be increasing. But, you've
been traveling a lot lately. Have you had to get certain visas you didn't expect when you were going to other places?
No, I definitely had to get a visa for Egypt. Last year, I had to get a bunch of visas when I traveled to a lot of places, even do not travel. Well, actually, Egypt is on they don't recommend traveling there. Myanmar last year, I also had to get a visa for that, as well as Vietnam. I mean, yeah, and it's all pretty standard. And I mean, it might be anywhere from $25 to $50. There might have been something that was like 80. I see it as par for the course. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I've never had to
But
get one. So it's new
what?
to me.
What?
I've never had to.
What?
I don't think I've ever
Not
had.
for Cambodia?
Not at the time that I went. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cambodia,
Wow.
Thailand, maybe looking
I'm
back, but no, I didn't have to. I
I'm
don't
gonna
recall
choose an exotic place for you that has a really high visa fee
just to go there. And this one's
just
a
to go there. Just to go there.
we got Will on the third, the same as him. He's never had to fill out a visa. So you are our, world traveling advisor, Sarah.
Wow. No, goodness.
You're filling that passport up with a lot of stamps.
I am. Well, looking at the time here, I think we should. You down to go on to our real time recap?
Let's do it.
Okay, great. Let's go. Real time recap. What's happening in the streets of hospitality? Okay, well, there you go.
I went to let's say on a classic one over the weekend. I went over to Joe Stone Crab to go. So if you don't know, Joe Stone Crab is a 110-year-old establishment here in Miami Beach. It's one of the most historic and biggest revenue-making restaurants in the country. I think it's number one every year, actually. But for good reason, because I go to the to-go area, and it's like kind of like cafe vibe where you order at the counter, they deliver it to your table. Same food, though, and same quality. And it really is just an amazing place to go, especially if you have a family or kids or just on your own on the beach, because they're so nice every time you go in there. And they really do service with a smile. It was pouring rain. They were making sure that everyone wasn't slipping, had their umbrella put in a safe place, would clean up after people, making sure that you had your drink filled if you needed something from the bar. Like, just great things that they do there. I love going there all the time. Great quality and enough food that you can take it home and have dinner too.
Amazing.
So, overall, real-time recap. Joe Stone Crab. If you haven't been, make sure to check it out.
Okay, well, I'll check it out next time I'm in town. So actually, I just was realizing, I was like, where have I been? Where have I been? I don't know. I was just at the Gaylord Pacific, which for those that are familiar with the Gaylord brand, they are big, very family focused resorts as well as like convention centers. And it was huge that they just opened up in Chula Vista, which is just south of San Diego. I was like, oh, San Diego and Mexico. It was very cool. Beautiful resort. And the service was fantastic. And for me, I get super giddy when I go into new hotels. There's something about like, oh, there's like, this is new carpet, like there's new grout. Yeah, I'm looking at things like that. But I was really surprised because I was thinking about like the area and the demographics and who they were hiring, whatever they're doing when it comes to service training. They were just spot on, because Gaylord Properties, for those that might not know, they're big. I don't remember how many rooms this one has, but normally they have at least like
they're gigantic.
2,000 rooms, something crazy. And then they had a water park, and it was so fun to be there. Just like I was there right before the start of Labor Day weekend, and just seeing families go out, explore this new area. And by the way, that area used to be pretty much nothing. So they've put in this property in this resort, and it's boosted so much there. I'm looking at kids that like have jobs like in their young 20s or even like teenagers, and they're doing a great job. And it was, for me, it was very heartwarming, because I just love to see new younger people in hospitality also doing a fantastic job and taking pride in a new property. So it was very good job. So for people looking for family places, highly recommend it. And it's also great for conferences and conventions.
Yeah, see,
Gaylord Pacific.
Great places. And we've got Lou. Lou said he's been to Joe's. He thinks it's fabulous. So that's great to see. See, I wouldn't lead you to the wrong place, Sarah. I wouldn't take you.
Oh, good. I'm glad. All right. Well, why don't we get to our quote of the week here? Would you like to say this?
I would love to say this, because for viewers, only a handful of people know, Sarah being one of them. I've had some challenging things going on in my world, and this is a perfect quote for this week. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity, by our good friend Albert Einstein. And I believe that there is always a positive to something, no matter how difficult it is. You get through the most difficult day, you made it through. Now keep pushing forward, big things ahead. A lot of things can come from difficult situations, and they really, really can. I believe it, right? We always talk about that under pressure, coal makes a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. If you can get through it and really control that, everything you do becomes even better.
Wow, I have like nothing to add to that. I mean, I could always add, but I will let you take that because that was very well said. So
we'll take it. We'll take it there.
We'll take it.
Well, wow. Great show today, man. We flew by.
We brought that early morning energy. Woo!
Great energy. And again, reminder for those just hopping in and maybe you didn't hear at the top, we're officially live broadcasting on the Skift YouTube channel. So make sure to hop on that channel and subscribe. So you'll be able to watch us here on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and then hear the podcast afterwards on all streaming platforms, wherever you may be listening. And until next week, what do you say, Sarah?
Stay hospitable.